Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Companies are seeing increased productivity with their employees in a work from home environment as a result of COVID-19 lockdowns. And NetDocuments CTO Alvin Tedjamulia joins me to discuss how cloud technology has made that possible and what the future of work could look like on the other side of the pandemic. Alvin, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you, Jill. I'm happy to be here.
All right, tell us a little bit more about NetDocuments.
Well, we started about 22, 23 years ago. We had a lot of experience in the document management area, for organizations that have very high focus on documents like law firms and banks. And then when we started, about 22 years ago, we thought, we needed to involve the document process with the author, with all of the other constituency, which meaning not just people inside the firm, but outside. And then we felt that in order to do that, we had to go to the cloud. So it was a very, very early nascent cloud at that time. 22 years ago, Google did not even exist, but we went forward. And then as a result, we have a lot of experience in the cloud, doing security and compliance.
Now, COVID-19 has changed our workplace environment, at least for the near term, and may even impact longer term trends. How can you accurately measure work from home productivity?
That was a very interesting thing because in the middle of March when COVID hit, everything kind of stopped. We say, wow, people were just scrambling to go from the office to home or working, anywhere. But fortunately, NetDocuments being in the cloud, has the infrastructure to make that happen very smoothly. And we have been able to measure the average number of transactions that a user would do before and after COVID. So, every time you open a document, you do a version or you email a document, we measure all of those in specific discrete transactions. And, to our surprise, after the first couple of days when there was that shock of having everybody to readjust their habits, that we actually saw an average productivity increase of 20% for the people who work from home compared to the same people, that used to just work primarily in the office. So as a result, we saw that a lot of the different organizations accelerated their move to the cloud and, needed to have some kind of a infrastructure where they can have all their documents, their emails in the cloud readily available. So we've actually seen, and especially at the medium and the lower end of the market, an increased acceleration on the year-over-year growth compared to last year. So people are adjusting to work at home and then doing it well. And I can tell you what the secret is, what I believe of that productivity gain. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, as an employee, we would certainly agree with you there. Now, what about security in the cloud?
So security is absolutely mandatory because when you work from home, you tend to leave all of your files in your home PC or even in web drives or emails, and then it becomes unmanageable. And then obviously, home security is not as good as office security. So for that reason, with us being in the cloud, we provide the data security and the end user security automatically. So it is the same user interface, the same experience, whether working from home or working from the office. We take immense measures for security. Something like the data security, we think about how to protect against subpoenas, how to protect against yourself and your own IT people, how to protect against nation state attack. From the end user security, of course, we have all kinds of technologies such as data loss prevention so that the user inadvertently would not lose data or expose data that is not supposed to. And then all of the ransomware protection is built in. So we've created an immense amount of infrastructure, to the point that some of the bigger banks and then some of the government institutions are actually embracing this technology because of the security.
And Alvin, to wrap up here, what does it look like on the other side of COVID-19 when we get past this pandemic? Because it's so interesting when I have executives such as yourself come on the show, they've really had to look at their businesses in a very different way. You've always understood your business, but to see how the company is actually functioning with a work from home environment, do you think that it could potentially become more of a hybrid role where some folks will work from home, that work from home element may still always be in there?
Yes, we don't see that the final, COVID effect will be resolved anytime soon.
Hmm.
So this work from home is going to be prevalent until it is fully resolved. But I believe that even after it is fully resolved, the freedom that we experience by having the hybrid environment, being working in the office and working at home, depending on what the needs are, would be prevalent throughout the whole business world. Uh, we have shown that with the proper tools and without changing user interfaces, that the end user can actually be as productive, and in our case, 20% more productive at home than in the office. So we absolutely, can predict that this is going to stay, and then the issue of security, continuity, availability, all of that is going to be immensely important, because if the end user were to do all of that by himself or herself, even with the support of the business, is not going to be very successful. But if you have a cloud infrastructure where everything is taken care of, for you behind the scenes, and the user interface is the same, I believe that it's going to be a very, very remarkable drive for the world to move uh, to a hybrid environment, working from home and working in the office.
All right, Alvin, thanks so much for joining us on Trade Talks.
Thank you so much, Jill.
All right, and thanks for joining us. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at NASDAQ.